recording this. Sorry about that. That was on me. I apologize. Let me get back to it. All right. So looking here, like I said, there's the videos, but also the worksheets are the ones where you can get a lot of different practice problems. So in this case, composite functions gives you some problems to try out, and after you try them out, there's some answers attached just so you can see how well you're doing. Sometimes it really is just you need more practice. It's not about intelligence, it's just about practice, right? So we have those things available. The one that I think is of the most importance is, let me go back to 1105. This first one, the 1105 formulas bookmark. This is all of the major equations that you will be using through the course of this semester. Exponents is the very first unit you'll be going over. We have some examples on that a little later on in this presentation. Logarithms is the very last topic that you'll be going through. So the first thing, the last thing, and everything in between. Okay? We want to help make sure that you can succeed by any way that we can. Okay? All right, so handouts, bookmarks with formulas, extra practice worksheets, review, and content videos. We got all of that. Matter of fact, right now, while I'm still thinking about it, I'm gonna go on and send this as a link. Uh-oh. I'm gonna send this as a link to you in the chat box right now. So you can go on and bookmark it and save it, use it for when you need it, okay? In addition to what we already have posted online, we still offer live test reviews. So if you actually wanted to come in, sometimes we have them in person, sometimes they're virtual, sometimes it's hybrid where it's a little bit of both, but we have them in the moment. So that way, not only can you see the problems and see them being worked out, but then you can also ask questions. Hey, excuse me, can you show me how you got a -3? Hey, can you show me how you got that fraction? We had no fractions and now you have one. What happened? You can actually ask questions during the session, which makes that special. Like I said, the recorded ones are on the website. Embedded support is where one of us will come and see you in your class. Not you in specific, but you in general. So last semester, I was embedded in a course. There was another teacher who taught, but I will come in once or twice a week just to kind of help the students while still in class. Because let's be honest, sometimes you don't have time after class. Sometimes as soon as class is over, you got to go. Let's make sure you have the support you need while you're still on campus. Calculator assistance. Sometimes the problem with math isn't that you don't understand math, you don't know how to put it in a calculator, you keep getting it wrong. That's actually a bigger issue than you may believe. We actually see that a lot. If you have a problem with using your calculator, come see us. We got you. The only thing we can't help you with in this class is your test and quiz. By that, I mean we can't help you while you are taking them. If you want help to get ready for your test, we got you. If you just had a test and you got 4 of them wrong and you want to go over those 4, we got you. While you're taking the test, no, we can't. That's called cheating. We can't do that. Okay. And we don't teach. We don't provide instruction. You got to go to class for that. But if there was something in class you did not get, understand, come to us and we can help you. Okay. Canvas is the platform that we do class from. If you're from Leon County, you may be familiar with it already. If not, I have an example we're going to show. So your dashboard will look like this on Canvas. These tiles here will represent each of the classes that you have. So hopefully you don't have 9 classes this semester. You only have about 3 to 4 of them. And this is one that I was embedded in last semester. I am not the teacher for this course, but I just want to kind of just show you how Canvas is set up. Okay. So I go to my 1105 course. Front page has some general basic contact information. This is where announcements get put throughout the year. This left sidebar is where our money is at, though, right? This is where we have access to our syllabus, which is important so we know exactly when our tests are, different rules and procedures to look out for, obviously, time and place of the course itself, and something people sleep on, office hours. I say you should go to office hours at least once a month for every class. At least. If you have less than a B, you should be in office hours every week. And as you see, this particular instructor was in office a lot of times. It wasn't just 1 hour a day, 1 hour a week. They were in there like almost every day of the week for multiple hours. This is something to take advantage of. We don't mind helping you, but let's be honest, the teacher teaching the class is probably the best suited to help the student of that class. Okay. Modules is where all your assignments and things will be kept. I mean, technically, the one that says assignments is really just the assignment part of it. I'm going to see if that'll load up for me. No, not right now. Okay. So this is where the actual assignments are, final exams, retakes, homeworks, right? Modules, though, is where it's broken up kind of a little bit more like a textbook would be, right? Kind of like an online textbook. You got your getting started section, module 1, and then it's in order with videos and examples. Textbooks are the examples, videos kind of help show it. And then also whatever the actual assignment is for that section. And then it just keeps going like that all the way through. Okay. I just wanted to show you so that way it wasn't too scary when you first saw it. And you have it set up similarly for each class, right? Like I said, syllabus, modules, assignments, a little bit of everything is in there. Also, the grade book. I did not have access to that course's grade book because I was not the teacher, and respectfully, I don't want to see nobody grades like that. But in yours, you'll have access to being able to see what your scores were for all the assignments you had turned into. Okay. All right. Lumen. Lumen is the platform or the website specifically where your homework's going to come through. Like we just showed you where the modules were, where it said the assignment. What's going to happen is during that assignment, there will be a link and it will take you to something that looks just like this. Please notice that, much like a calculator, there's different function buttons to help you be able to answer the problem. The thing that I like best, and I was a teacher for about 15 years in high school and middle school, sometimes you just make silly mistakes on homework, right? You forgot the negative sign, you didn't simplify, decimals in the wrong place. Here, you're allowed to take the same question, say you get it wrong, you're allowed to re-answer it up to, you have 3 attempts per question. 3 attempts. So if your decimal was wrong, you can fix it. Your negative was wrong, you can fix it. You have 3 attempts. If you don't get it in your 3 attempts, obviously you need to either see office hours or you need to come here to the Learning Commons so you can get assistance so you can understand how to solve that type of problem. Lumen goes a step further, and after you do 3 times, say you still don't get it, you come to the Learning Commons and we're like, oh, here's how you do this sort of problem. Oh, I get it now. I wish I could redo it. Well, you know what? Even after your 3 attempts, there'll be a button, usually like around this area here, like when the little calculator function kind of moves away. After you do 3 problems, it'll say similar problem. Sometimes it's down here by the question button, sometimes it's up here. Either way, it'll say similar problem. You can click that and it'll give you one where essentially it just changes the numbers a little bit, but it's the same problem all over again. Same problem all over again. And you get to try it again. That is love. That means that theoretically you should not have anything other than 100% on every homework assignment in this course. Period. Period. Let's keep moving. I'm not going to tell you which calculator to get because every teacher is legitimately different. Some want a very specific calculator, some don't care. The one that I see the most coming into the Learning Commons is a TI-83 and TI-84. They look like this. We sell them in the bookstore to like $180. All right. I wanted to just kind of highlight something real quick, and we're going to move on from this slide. One of the biggest issues that we see is right here. Knowing the difference between a negative sign and subtraction sign. They both look alike. They're both just that. But in a calculator, there's a big difference between the two. On the 83 and 84, this button is my subtract button. It's in between my multiply and my addition. Subtraction, right there in between. This button down here, though, that's the negative sign. So if I have something like 3 minus -4, I would do the 3 button, the minus button, the negative button, and then the 4 button. Don't do 3 minus -4 or 3 negative -4. That's not going to do it. That's you'd be surprised. That is like the biggest issue that we have sometimes. I just wanted to kind of highlight it. Hopefully y'all don't make that same mistake, okay? All right. Now, but a granddaddy of all calculators, the guy who's in charge here, Desmos. Desmos is love. I love Desmos. I found about Desmos when I was at Florida State working on my math education degree back in like 2007. They were still kind of demoing it out. Now it has grown. It's amazing. We're going to try it out. So college algebra is kind of like high school algebra 1 and algebra 2 kind of mixed together and sprinkled with geometry, right? A lot of equations. This calculator lets me just plug in an equation and it'll graph it for me. That's clutch. Going deeper. Biggest thing y'all have to find on these graphs is things like X and Y intercept, where it crosses the X and Y axis. Here, I don't know if you could tell, but those points are grayed out. If I hover over those grayed out points, it tells me exactly what those numbers are. If I click on it, it'll stay there. Okay, please find the y-intercept. Boom, done. There's another way to do it algebraically. It could take you about 3-4 minutes. Not that hard. Or you can just type it in and click. X-intercept, boom, same way. Not to do your work for you, but to help you to do your work easier. Okay? Second thing I want to show you. Fractions. Everybody hates fractions. It is what it is. Sometimes they give you things like fractions, right? I'm just kind of typing some numbers in my keyboard here. This is a big old fraction, big old decimal answer. What if they say we want your answer in lowest terms or simplified fraction, right? Reduced form, right? I can click this circle right here and it'll automatically reduce it for me. Again, not to do your work for you, you'd still have to know how to get the right answer. But to simplify it, you can get that done in seconds instead of minutes. And that's big because in college, you're supposed to do homework for 2 hours for every 1 hour of class you had that day. So if I had 4 hours of class today, I'm supposed to come home and do 8 hours of homework. If I can save 4 minutes of problem by hitting a button instead of having to work it out and guarantee that I simplified it correctly, which sometimes is tough, that is something that I need to know how to do. Are we okay with that idea? And Desmos is really cool. I don't want to like confuse y'all before y'all get started in math. Inequalities as well. Inequalities, you got to shade the screen. It does those for you too. Like Desmos is it. And I showed that to you because on some of your problems, especially like on your tests, definitely in your homework, but on some of your tests as well, they'll have a little calculator button that you can click. The calculator it pulls up, as you see from this screenshot, is the Desmos calculator. It's the Desmos calculator. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to have. I recommend playing around with it so you know how to use it when the time comes, but just know that this is one of those things, okay? All right. I was going to do some sample stuff. Before I get any further, do I have any questions, comments, or concerns? I don't want to lose anybody, and I know I was kind of going a little fast. Are we okay? Okay, I don't hear a no, so I'm going to keep going, all right? All right. So, I told you already, the very first unit you're going to get in 1105 college algebra is called exponents. We're going to work on some exponents here today. Just in that way, the first week of school, one of your stresses isn't math. I can't help you with all 16 weeks this semester, but I can help you with this one. All right. So, important part of notes, very first part of notes is always definitions. You need to understand the words because if you can't understand the question, how can you answer it properly? All right. A is the base. My base is whatever number is that's the one that's on the line. That's the base. B is the exponent. This is B. That is my exponent. So whatever number is up and right, it's called my exponent. Exponent means that A is multiplied by itself B times. And you guys should be familiar with this. I taught middle and high school math for a number of years. If you made it this far, you should have seen this concept of exponents before. I'm not going to go too far into that. Let's talk about these properties, though. These properties are ways of helping me to solve seemingly complex exponent problems rather quickly. So let's try it out. This first one says 5 to the 0 power. 5 is my base, 0 is my exponent. But B is supposed to tell me how many times A is multiplied by itself. I don't know how to do with this 0. So I look at my properties. The first one says A, or any number, raised to the 0 power is equal to 1. So any number, such as 5, raised to the 0 power must always be equal to 1. There we go. Answer. Done. Let's do another one. This one says 4 to the negative second power. You've probably seen 4 to the second power before. That's just 4 times 4. 4 times itself 2 times. I don't know about this negative, though. So I look, and there's a property. It says when I have a base with a negative exponent, the base and the exponent go to the bottom of a fraction. Another word for that is reciprocal, right? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take my base and my exponent and put them at the bottom of a fraction. My exponent now becomes positive because it's on the bottom. And I can go on and actually do the work here. And I know, by being a great math student, that 4 times 4 is 16. We see how this works? All right, let's keep going. 2 to the second power times 2 to the third power. I could work that out. 2 times 2, get a number. 2 times 2 times 2, get a number. Then multiply those. That seems a little complex. There has to be a better way. I look, and there is. It tells me when I'm multiplying and my two numbers have the same base, I can keep that base and just add those two exponents together. Whenever I see multiply, I really could just add the exponents. So I'm going to keep my base the same. I'm going to add my exponents. And in this case, 2 plus 3 is 5. Now we're down to a calculator function. This ain't even something you got to do in your head. You could if you want to. But again, we got a handy dandy calculator. 2 raised to the 5th power. I ain't even got to hit equals. It already does that for me. Boom, 32. So this is 32. We okay? All right, I'm going to keep going. All right. This one's a little bit more heavy duty. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. This one's a little more heavy duty. I have numbers and letters. To help my life out, I'm going to go on ahead and separate them things apart. I'm going to do 12 to the 32nd as one fraction, or 12 over 32, sorry. And then the x squared over x to the 7th by itself. This is just a regular fraction. I can simplify. Divide top and bottom by the greatest common factor, which in this case is 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 32 divided by 4 is 8. All right, simplify fractions. You should have been through that already, respectfully. This simplifying exponential fraction we haven't been to, but I have one for that. When the bases are the same, I can subtract the exponents, and it's always going to be the top exponent minus the bottom exponent. So keep the base the same, and it's top exponent minus bottom exponent, which is, in this case, -5. But I just learned about negative exponents too. Negative exponent means I put it to the bottom of my fraction. Okay, now I got to combine these two fractions. I had 3/8. I got 1 over 6/5. 1 times 3 is 3. 8 times x to the 5th is 8x to the 5th. My whole problem done. All right, last one. I have an expression, and all of it is raised to an exponent. And that's weird because I already have some exponents going on. So how do I raise an exponent to another exponent? Well, I got a property to tell me. Whenever I'm raising an exponent to an exponent, I multiply both of them. Okay. I'm going to try it out. Before I do, though, I'm going to kind of low-key distribute this 4 to all pieces. I'm going to do that now before I get confused. So the first term was a 3, the second term was an a to the third, and my fourth term was a b to the fourth. And I'm gonna be raising all of those to the fourth power. Well, 3 to the fourth power, again, that's a calculator function. I can plug that in. That's just 81. A to the third raised to the fourth. I'm going to multiply those two exponents, but keep the base the same. So my base was the letter A. 3 times 4 is 12. Same thing over here with B. B is just the letter. 4 to the fourth power is 4 times 4, which is so 81. A to the 12th, B to the 16th is how I perform this. Are we okay? All right, I'm going to assume that that's a yes and keep moving, okay? This is a screenshot of your very first homework assignment. Screenshot. Module 1A is the very first thing that you will do. Like I said, you're going to start off with exponents. Here's some of the problems. From your actual first homework, like I said, I don't want y'all going into that first week nervous. I want you going in feeling good about it. Let's go on and try to answer some of these. If you don't mind, since I did the last 5 problems, can y'all help me out with these 3 right here? I'll work them, but I'm going to ask a question from time to time. Can somebody please respond to certain way I know that you guys get what I'm saying, okay? All right, so I'm multiplying. No multiplication there. My bases are the same. I had a property that told me if the bases are the same, I got to do what to the exponents? Can somebody help me out?
Were you supposed to add them?
Yes, I add them together. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So my base would stay the same, and I would add these two things. Can somebody else help me out and tell me what is 16 plus 13?
29.
Excellent. And this is what I would put right in my box. Y to the 29th power. Done. Done. Shout out to college math. Done. All right. Next one, it says simplify. They gave me a to the 9th power raised to the 2nd power. Well, I only have one base, so that must stay the same. When I have an exponent raised to an exponent, what do I do with those two numbers? Somebody want to help me out?
Multiply them?
Excellent job. Excellent job. And in this case, 9 times 2 gives me
18.
excellent job. You guys rock. And again, I just put it in right here. Excellent job. You guys are doing fantastic. All right. This one is a little bit more ugly, a little more convoluted, and my directions are a little bit different. Write each of the following products with a single base. Do not simplify further. All right. What do I do? Well, let's say with a single base. This is my single base. So it's really just asking me to combine this part. This is important because if I did not read my instructions, I would have done like I did. Let me scroll up a little bit. Like I did here and factored it out and had a split base. They didn't ask me for that. They want everything in one nice small little shell. So I'm going to keep this 2x here. I'm just going to leave that as that simple base, that single base. I'm not going to do nothing else with it. But I have it raised to the 5th, raised to the 3rd. What do I do when I have a power raised to a power?
Multiply.
Multiply. And what is 5 times 3?
15.
15. Boom. Done. Finished. Game over. And yes, I would need to leave the parentheses because this 15 applies to the x and the 2. So I would still need to leave those parentheses. Okay. And I'm going to stop right there because it asked me very specifically to not simplify any further. Cool. I won't. I promise. I want to show you one more thing before we move on from here. Like I said, this is an actual screenshot. So these things are all important here. This is telling you what your score is for this problem because technically it's still blank. You have 0 out of 1 points for this problem. If you answer it and get it correct, that should change. If you get partial credit, it'll be like 0.5 over 1, right? This part right here, where it has like the little circle and the 3 in there, that tells me I have 3 attempts. I can try 3 times on this problem. Remember we said after 3 attempts, though, it'll give me like a little box that says similar problem. This here is what tells me how many similar problems I can get. You see how that works out? Sometimes that number is as high as 99. Okay, so I want to make sure we're familiar with what we're looking at. So score, how many attempts you have, how many similar problems you're allowed. Okay? All right, cool. And then last one, I'm gonna show you what this is too. This little key, after you've done your 3rd attempt, if you press that button, right over here, it'll show you what the correct answer should have been. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. All right, more TCC resources, and I'm kind of running low on time, so I'm gonna speak a little bit faster. Slow me down if you need to. Library checkout. Libraries have books. You all know this. College libraries have more than just books. We also can check out other things that you will need in order to do well in this school, which is things like devices, computers, laptops, webcams, and sometimes even scientific calculators I told you was $180. Thing is, with these resources, we got 13,000 students. We do not have 13,000 laptops to rent. If you want or need one of those systems, I recommend going as soon as possible. Like as soon as is possible. As soon as it's possible. Not to scare you, but to prepare you. I suggest as soon as possible. Free teeth cleaning. You're in college. You're about to interact with, talk to, and negotiate with a whole bunch of new people, sometimes on a daily basis. As adults, we call that networking. As kids, they call it friends. We're in college. It's just called talking to people. The dental hygiene building, which is over by the math and science building anyway, is where we train dental hygienists. Their job is to master the basics of dentistry. The biggest item they work on is teeth cleaning. You can take your student ID and get a free teeth cleaning any day out of the week. I'm not saying you should go every day. You should be brushing your teeth every day. But it's a free resource that you could totally use. And why not? All right. Student Resource Center. This is actually a link. I'm going to go to it real quick. I actually pulled it up earlier. We offer a lot of stuff for students that is not related to your classwork, your grades, or your scores. Okay. The biggest one I tell people about is our food pantry. It's called Talon's Market. Hours of operation are 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Food insecurity is a real thing. I'm not saying for you personally, but statistically, somebody you know. 1 out of every 5 people, that's 20% of our population of TCC, not the world, but of TCC, has suffered with food insecurity in the last 6 months. If it is you, if you hear somebody saying something that kind of leads to that, oh yeah, I'm just a little hungry because I had nothing to eat yesterday. Oh no, I ain't got no lunch, man. I'll be okay. I'll be all right. If you hear something like that, I'm not saying call nobody out, but feel free to go on and let them know about the resources and services that we have. Back in the day, things like this used to be all canned goods. We actually got a refrigeration unit over there now. So there's also stuff like bread, eggs, milk, right? I would like for you all to be happy and healthy. Whatever we can do to help that is what we're here for. This is a great matter of fact. I'm gonna go on and put this in y'all's little chat right quick. Let me see what's in the chat box here. This is a great page just for resources altogether. Just for resources altogether. Let's see another one. Man, I had kids when I was in college. I had my oldest when my very first semester at Florida State. I had my oldest child. I understand that can be difficult and it could make your educational journey a little tougher. We have things to help with that. Is it going to be some same day? No, I suggest again as early as possible. That way you can go on and get the paperwork and all the other stuff taken care of. But are we here to help? Absolutely. Absolutely. Last one, mental health counseling. Mental health counseling. And again, not to put nobody out there, but sometimes we all need a little help. And it's not even a negative thing. My wife is a therapist, not saying that that has anything to do with this, but I understand on both sides of it that sometimes we need we need somebody to talk about with some of these things. A lot of the issues that students have in college isn't with college itself. It's with things that happen outside of school that you can't get off your mind by the time you get to class. Get what you need. This is free. These are free resources I'm telling you about. If you go outside of the school, you could have to pay. Like I said, my wife's a therapist. She charges $100 to $150 an hour on the low end. If you need help, we have this. This is on campus. This is over on the side by the parking lot with the parking garage. It's right over there. There's a sign for it and everything. TPP building. Hours of operation 8 to 5 every day. Every day. Please do not suffer in silence, people. Please, please, please. Okay. I'm gonna get back to my presentation. I am running low on time real quick. Oh, and that was it. That was the last page. Oh, look at God, look at God, look at God. There are a couple of things I wanted to make sure you guys had, and one thing that I'm supposed to make sure that everybody does anyway. Let me go on and get that one first. We want to know how this presentation was. I'm not the only one giving it. We have people all through the Learning Commons in their own offices doing separate presentations for separate courses. But for this one in particular, if you wouldn't mind, there's a survey. Let me type the word survey in here too, so you know which link is which. That's a survey. Hey, how do we do? Is there something that we can add to the next presentation when we run this next semester that might be more beneficial to students? Is there any questions that we didn't get to? Was there something else you wanted to know about? Let us know in the survey. But also, because I have like another 12 minutes here on this call, let me know. Is there something else I can help you with? Is there something that I can shine some light on, whether it's in algebra or something else? Anything I can do to help aid, support, or assist you right now?
Hi, sir. I was actually interested in learning about how to prepare for the PERT to get into the algebra class.
Excellent question. Excellent question. Let me see what I can do to help you with that right this second. So here in the Learning Commons, I'm not sure if you guys have been on campus yet. We're the building that's like across the street from the Wendy's on that corner right there. We're on that side of campus. We have some people upstairs in the Learning Commons who are great at that sort of prep help, and they sometimes host workshops. I work downstairs. I don't work upstairs, so I'm not sure exactly what those dates are. What I would recommend is reaching out to a lady, and I could put her name in the chat. I'm not sure her email address off the top of my head. Her name is Jamie Smith. I'm typing it in right now. Boom, Jamie Smith. Jamie is a wonderful lady. She helps with not only with the PERT tests, but also for another graduation requirement that you all have, which is the civic literacy test, the Florida Civic Literacy Test. She does workshops for that as well. And again, all these things I'm telling you about are completely free. But also I didn't want to accidentally give you the wrong information or misinformation. I'd rather just direct you to the expert on that. But Jamie, she's a shorter lady. She works directly upstairs in the Learning Commons. If you go to the reception desk and say, hey, I'd like to speak with Jamie, they'll already know who you're talking about. There's only one of her. She can help.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Any other questions? I see somebody just sent me one. I'll read that, but is there anybody else who wanted to chime in while I read this question? Any other questions, comments, or concerns I can help with? Okay. If you don't mind, I'm not going to say who it was that sent it to me. We're going to have some anonymity, but somebody on this call just sent a message and asked, is it possible to come to campus and see exactly where my classes are before classes start on Monday? Absolutely. I am on campus right this very second. We are here. We are open. Ain't no teachers here. Ain't a whole lot of students here, but you absolutely can. And I even recommend it. Personal story on how I recommend it. I have a daughter who's a high schooler here in Tallahassee. She goes to Leon High down the street. She's taking dual enrollment classes here and at Florida State. We already know what classes she's taking. We know what room and building numbers. Yesterday, I had her walking around both campuses so that way she could see. Because one, you need to. Two, ain't no telling how well you're gonna be on time for that first day. Anything can happen. And if you're already running late, you ain't got time to kind of be looking around. Three, sometimes it could be a little nervous or embarrassing slightly to have to ask somebody for directions, and you don't want to go through that. Come on out here. Today we have excellent parking because ain't nobody here. Most, if not all of the buildings are unlocked, at least until about 5 o'clock. And maybe not all the teachers are on campus, but all of our staff, such as myself, are on campus. You can always ask somebody for either directions or any question that you might have while you're still face to face. So yes, can you come on campus? Absolutely, come through. We are here. We are here. Yeah, no problem. No problem whatsoever. Any other questions real quick? Going once, going twice? Oh, and I want to make sure I had put this in the chat too. I think let me check the chat real quick. Student resources. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in one more time just in case because this is specifically for this boot camp is for college algebra. And like I said, the very best resource we have, the one that we have more people get every year, the one that really does help the most is this, which is the bookmark, the 1105 bookmark. I recommend you, if you want, you print this, you star it, you have it as an open tab. You will be using this bookmark this semester. Guaranteed, no questions asked. I'll put like a whole paycheck on that. Like that, you will be using that. And it's good to have it on the online version because sometimes papers get lost, they get messed up, it rains, whatever. It's good to have a digital copy as well. Okay. Can I ask about? Yeah, cool. What's up? Somebody just asked me, can I ask a question? Sure. Liberal arts, what's up?
Hi, how are you? I had a question about the liberal arts math. Where
Mhm.
can I find the formula for that?
All right. The very first link that I gave you was for just the TCC math page. Can you guys still see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome sauce. Awesome. TCC man, let's go back. Here we are. Boom, 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 boom. So this is the link that I had given you before. Liberal arts is just further down the page. And we have stuff for liberal arts 1, which is like a lot of ratios, comparing data is really what that is. And for liberal arts 2, which is kind of like real life math. Like they do more like, matter of fact, let's look at one. Let's see, boom. So this one here is talking about interest and interest specifically on long range accounts. So things like annuities, retirement accounts, benefit accounts, things that once you retire, you want to know how much money is going to be in there. These are the equations for that. We have a bookmark just on that one, for example. Liberal arts is a little bit different than 1105 because it's not just one concept. 1105 is legitimately lines and graphs. Lines and graphs. This is about how we apply mathematics to quote unquote real life situations. So between liberal arts 1 and liberal arts 2, they talk about how can you figure out interest payments and amounts for retirement accounts. What are the numbers that go into buying a home, buying a car, things of that nature. Okay. But yes, we absolutely have resources on those. We have videos on those. I myself am one of the specialists who works with students on those things. We have posters, we have papers. Anytime you need to come in about that, yeah, we got you. We got you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anything else that I can help with today? Okay. Well, like I said, I am Mr. Salter. I'm a math specialist. I work downstairs. My office is to the right. Should you ever come in, I'm here literally every day. I mean, I take off like once in a while, but it's not very often. If you need help, please, I'd rather you come and ask. Even if you wanted to come find me directly, excuse me, can you show me where Mr. Salter is? You want to come to my office, just ask. But I don't want everybody knowing about. Cool. I want you to get the help, though. I want you to get the help. Anything that I could do to help you, whether it's with this class, this semester, college in general. Sometimes you just had a bad weekend and you need somebody to talk to about it before you head to class. anything I can do to help, aid, support, or assist, I am here for you. Like I said, I've been a teacher for a very long time, high school, middle school. I did summer school. I was a coach, football, track, whatever. I'm here for the student and the student experience. This is a hard thing that you're engaging upon, and I want you to do well. If there's anything I can do to support that and support you, is literally why I'm here. Okay? I respectfully ask that you fill out the survey. Like I said, so that way we can make workshops like this better and aimed at the students in a better way. We don't want to have any gaps with it. Thank you so much for the questions you've asked already. If there's anything I could do, like I said, come pull up. I'll be here. And if not, I believe today is Friday. So everybody, please, 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 please have an absolutely great weekend. And we will be here on Monday.
Thank you, sir. Have a wonderful weekend.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, you guys, as well.